It's spiritual. Bad things happen to me when I do something wrong.
What kind of bad things?
Well, no way. Really? Oh my God.
What's that?
I knew this was gonna happen, man. You guys are really locking me up. What are you guys doing?
I think you're okay.
I'm fine.
You said some questionable stuff on someone recently.
Got it. You're not Judge DeSantos. They're on the cops are here. No.
Oh,
No. Absolutely not.
okay.
Correct, yeah. Joker is the name of the movie, and the actor that played him did a really good job. And if you watch that movie, you'll get a better understanding of mental health. Lauren showed it to me right before she died.
Where did you watch it?
She was raped by 9 men at one time.
Well, that's definitely very traumatic and
she was molested by her dad.
Sure.
Yeah, she was molested by her dad her entire life. Everywhere she goes, she carried something around with her that people wanted to just sexually abuse her. And I came in there and I was so good to her. I was so good to her.
And so how long were the two of you?
She's the reason I married Emily in the first place. She's the reason I married my first wife in the first place. She's like, yeah, I used to be with her because there's nothing about her that she wouldn't love. Also, I was the best man at her older brother's wedding because we were best friends. I caught the garter and she caught the bouquet. We did the song and dance, the seance that foreshadowed our relationship to follow. It was too short of time that I had with her.
So you knew Lauren before you married your wife?
I loved Lauren before I married my wife. But she was already in a committed relationship of 10 years.
For 10 years?
Yeah, so she wasn't an option.
And so how did the two of you end up reconnecting?
I wanted to reach out to my friend John to talk about my divorce and everything that was going on, and he'd always lift my spirits, and he didn't answer the phone. He didn't answer the phone. He didn't answer the phone. So then I messaged Lauren and I said, hey, do you want to hang out and talk for a minute? Because she's the next best thing. She was like the female version of John. And I went over there and she said, just how sexually frustrated are you? Based on that video. And after that, we had that sexual encounter. She decided, I don't want another girl to ever touch you again. And this is not what she intended at first, which was to hang out and be crazy and stuff. And she let me move in that day, which I asked Chris if I was allowed to do it. He said, based on the separation with my first wife, it was totally lawful for me to live with her and move in with her and for everything to work out. And then when she died, I missed my drug test. And then you unlocked me up. So I guess that changed his plans on how quickly I was going to leave the state, because I was already going to ask for permission to go in September, but now I'm not really going to ask you for anything.
Well, I remember that Mr. Semke asked or mentioned that last time, I believe, right?
No, he
So I
didn't.
said that
No, he didn't. No. In fact, you barely let me get my alcohol cover off.
Or maybe you're the one that mentioned it, but I thought somebody mentioned it before.
I
about
did,
wanting
and
to
every
go-
time I go to say something to you, he tells me to. Every time I go to say something to you, he tells me to stop talking. But anytime I say something to you, something starts to change. So I don't understand why he keeps trying to hold me down.
Well, so I can tell you that
When I start talking, then you start listening, and then you start to have sort of an empathetic heart. You know, I wanted to go to law school, but I was too poor.
too
Started
poor.
heating and cooling because I never graduated high school because juvenile screwed that up for me.
Did you get your high school diploma or did you get a GED?
I got a GED. I quit high school and went the next day and took a test.
And you passed it pretty well? Pretty easily?
I did the things and then I walked out and people were still in there, didn't even finish theirs. Like I was done with it in half the time, didn't even need to double check my answers. It was that easy.
No,
It was much harder to get my
smart.
state contractor's license than it was the GED. Sorry, what was that?
I said, you are a smart person. Do you still want to go to law school?
Oh, I know that.
Why did you want to go to
Well,
law
I don't
school
want anything to
before?
do with the law
Okay, fair enough.
because I like to argue.
Okay,
So it's a selfish ambition. It's not really to help anybody. It's just because I like to argue. So that's not really of value to me any longer. I'm only out for others, not myself.
so do you want treatment?
No, I want to be left alone.
So when you said that you would rather go to treatment than go to jail, were you being honest with me or not?
I would rather go to treatment than jail, but if I'm going to get a tether put on, I'd rather be dead.
Well, then how am I supposed to know that you're in treatment, sir?
So here's my deal. I'm going to end up getting locked up eventually. The best case that I have, the best shot I have is just run away. Dip on out. Maybe I'll get locked up. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'm prolonging the inevitable. Maybe I'll just be just fine. I think somewhere completely else for my entire life.
Well, why do you think that you're going to be locked up eventually? If you are,
Well, I'm just saying,
receiving-
like, if I'm out there and you guys put down like a triple star, like 5 stars, like, yes, this guy, if you pick him up, he needs to come back for sure. Well, then, yeah, maybe I'll get locked up if I get pulled over on a speeding ticket or hazard, like my backlight's not working or something like that. But maybe I'll never get pulled over again. Maybe I'll never run into the law ever again. Maybe I'll be just completely fine. And honestly, I'd rather take a chance on that. Just like the Haitian individual who asked me to cut his tether off with a sawzall, which I would not do.
there was a Haitian individual that wanted you to cut their tether off.
I thought he was crazy. Now I'm like, sorry, it broke up again.
No, that's okay. You thought he was crazy and now you're what?
Now I'm like, oh, I see your point. I don't think I'll ever get picked up, even if I did get pulled over. I'd be like, ah, whatever. Because
Why
of
do you
how
think that?
not serious my crime is. Because my crime's laughable. Because my whole life is a joke, hence why I love that movie so much.
Why is your whole life a joke? Why is your whole life a joke?
Trying to reposition this computer.
What's that?
Well, look at the first court date. It was hilarious. All it was crafting lying emojis the entire time. Everywhere I go, I tell jokes. Hey, what's Bruce Lee's favorite drink? What, huh? What's Adolf Hitler's favorite letter? I don't know either, but it's not Z. I got another really good one, but it's like 2 minutes long.
What's that one?
I don't know why the connection got so crappy all of a sudden. I got Verizon pay $500 a month for my business account, and it doesn't even cooperate. I got my golf clubs. I got all my stuff. Pack it all up.
What's that 2-minute joke?
Get the heck out of here. Sell my Saturn Sky. Make money for child support once the baby's born.
What's your 2-minute joke that you said you have?
Never get to be a dad.
You can sell
Oh my
your
gosh,
dad.
there's a cockroach in here, dude. Ew. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. See, that's another sign I need to leave. Holy cow. I don't think that this is a joke. I'm not trying to take your guys' time lightly at all. I just want you to let me go and leave me alone. That's it. Just leave me alone.
Well, you said you had
Yeah, it's
another
time to go
joke. What's that?
outside.
Okay,
Oh my goodness. Well, there's no punchline to it, if you want to know.
okay, well, go ahead.
All right, it's pretty good. It's a dad joke. So the other day I was on this hill doing kung fu, and I'm standing at the top of the hill doing all my kung fu moves, like this. And I look down at the bottom of the hill, and there's this guy down there with a long, skinny isosceles triangle-shaped beard, really long. He's an Oriental fellow, also doing kung fu, which I recognize because it looks very similar to what I'm doing, besides the fact that his moves are much more concise. Out of nowhere, a black bull runs up on him, charging him. And he turns around and says, Bruce's favorite drink. What's up? And the bull stops in its tracks and turns back around and runs away. And I said, oh my gosh, how in the world did he do that? And so I went down there and I say, hey, how'd you do that? And he says, well, yes, young grasshopper, one must know the bull line. So I go, what the heck's he talking about? The bull line. So I go home, talk it over with the.
Hold on, Anthony, your connection's not so great right now.
And I,
Oh, there we go.
guy's crazy. His bull line, which I don't understand what it is. I think it was a line that anyway. Deja vu. Now I'm
Anthony, your connection's a little bit spotty right now.
Top of the one the same moves, and I'm so I'm doing my kung fu stuff that I was doing the first day, and I looked down, and out of nowhere, a hawk dives down at him, and he grabs the hawk with his hand and throws it right back off into the sky. And I go, how the heck did he do that? So I run down there, and I'm like, hey, dude, how'd you do that? And he goes, yes, young grasshopper, one must know the hawk line. I'm like, what the heck is this guy talking about, the hawk line? He's got me totally confused. And I'm like, what is even kung fu? You know, not something that I thought it was. And anyway, I go back home and I come back the next day. I'm doing my kung fu again, just like I did the prior 2 days. I look down the hill and the guy's down there and someone runs up on him, 3 dudes actually, and start beating the mess out of him, punching him, no kicking, just straight punches. And I'm like, wow, he can't even handle this from a person. That's terrible. They run his pockets, they take all of his money, they take his belt, not the black one, the Louis Vuitton, because people care much more about money than they do about people. They run off with all of his stuff. So I run down there to go help him out. He stands up on his own accord, and he looks me in the eyes, and he tells me something I will never forget. Yes, young grasshopper, there is no punchline.
Oh. Well, here you go. That was a night. That was pretty interesting. Pretty long. Pretty interesting.
I shortened it. My tattoo artist told me that while we were getting our tattoos, and I got a kick out of it. We only kick
Where
out of
you
it.
get your tattoo? Oh,
Yeah,
right. And where
we
do
got
you get-
ant tattoos.
What's that?
We got ant tattoos, like I told you.
I didn't see where you said that your tattoo was. Oh, there. Oh.
And she got hers behind her ear, and they used to hang out all the time.
And so, where do you go for that?
I don't even remember what the place was called. I tried calling it back again, and they didn't. I couldn't figure out where it was. I actually didn't like it either because when the guy was giving her tattoo, he was leaning up against her butt really bad and made her feel really uncomfortable.
Did you get the tattoo behind your ear at the same location?
Yeah, I usually do 2 at a time. I got this one just recently. It says Elohim, which is the name of God, on my ring finger, because I don't plan on ever marrying another woman ever in my entire life.
When did you get that one?
At the Allen Park Street Fair the other night, my friend Tony was actually working the front desk, and he was the one who gave me my first tattoo as a kid, and I was like, wow, I'm in the right place at the right time. So he gave me that one, and then he also gave me this one, which is Ezekiel chapter 9, verses 3 through 5, which is how I know I'm sealed by Elohim. The term saved is a non-existent thing. It's not even real in the context that we believe it to be. Hence why I left the church. I would talk to Chris about these things, but he doesn't believe in God.
Wow. All right.
That's a deep subject.
Wow.
That one's even deeper.
So where does Tony work?
Right next to Marshall Music at that tattoo parlor.
Oh, okay. What? And so it's by. So you didn't get Tony didn't do your other tattoo with Lauren?
Nope. I refuse to go back to that place. Like I said, that guy disgusts me. So Is the reason why we're still on the Zoom because you're going to continue to try to convince me to go to a hospital? Like, are we at a standstill, like stalemate? Because I'm not going to go to the hospital.
Why not?
I'm also not going to go to jail. I'm not going to accept a tether. I'm just going to be a needle in a haystack, and I'm just going to be a homeless guy for the rest of my life.
Well, how are you going to do your business? Conduct your business?
All I do is beep, beep, boop, boop. I go beep, beep, boop, boop on my phone, send someone to go somewhere, collect the money, and then pay them out. I just subcontract it all. It's really easy. Making money for me is like one of the easiest things in the world. I wake up and get $3,000 cash just like that. And then I go out to eat. And then I sit there and figure out a way to make a little more money. And then I do all my Bible studying and all that stuff. Today actually is a spiritual day for me based on the lunar calendar. Do you know what the word moon means in Latin?
The word what?
Moon, like our moon. It actually means month. And that's actually the calendar we're supposed to be going by. Not the Gregorian, not the one that was created by Pope Gregory. Because Rome is actually the fourth beast from scripture that rules with 7 heads on all 7 continents. You read all about Revelation.
Oh.
I don't know when the end of the world's coming, but if you look at this day and age that we live in, we know our world works in numbers, right? What number is Michael Jordan? What number is LeBron James? What year are we in? What's 2 divided by 3? You got a calculator? What's 2 divided by 3? I give you a hint. That's the year we're in. 666666666 forever. That's the year we're in, and that's why I'm facing all this opposition, even though I've barely done anything wrong. Spiritual warfare, spiritual principalities of the air are attacking me, and they're playing out through the flesh. I'm not an idiot, and people would call me crazy. I get it. Doesn't make sense to most people. I don't expect it to. I'm a modern day prophet, and I know that. Now I'm crazy, right? Now I'm nuts.
No.
I get it. And
No,
if you
I'm
read
just-
Galatians 4:16, it says, as a result of me telling the truth, have I become your enemy? Everyone in my life has.
Okay. So you said that you wake up and you earn $3,000 a day?
It depends on the
Just catch
day.
people out?
Oh, it just depends on the day. Some days I lose $50. Some days I clear 10 grand. Some days, I make ridiculous money. I'm glad I never became a lawyer. I'd be working way too hard for the same money.
Well, maybe not even that much money, actually, but, so you go out to eat every day?
Well, yeah, except for the days that I'm not supposed to work, I get bread and peanut butter and jelly, and just because, like, I believe today to be the true Sabbath day based on the lunar calendar and the way that I study the moon. And so therefore I'm not allowed to borrow today, period. That's why I own my own business, because if I worked for somebody else, they would force me to work.
And so you just dispatch other people out?
Oh, do you know why I started a heating and cooling company? Huh?
Why?
Oh, I wouldn't force anyone else to work for me either on a day like today either. I won't even take calls that someone wants. I go, yeah, you can fill out a request form, but I'll look at it tomorrow. That's about it. Now, I would go run a call if it was for free because there's someone in need, but not as a transactional purpose.
What is the difference?
Like, if I'm going to accept money, it's for my own gain, and I wouldn't do it for that. Like, if I was going to someone's house because I feel like they're in need of something beyond their air conditioner being fixed, I would fix it for free, and then I would address whatever other issue. If they said, my husband just died, and XYZ, and my cooling is out, then yeah, I'd go there masked as I'm going there as a cooling guy, and I would hook them up. And I would pray with them, talk with them, show them scripture, and spread the gospel, because that's the way that we're supposed to be doing, is meeting in people's homes, not in big church buildings. That is the true Great Commission. And you want to know who got locked up all the time for his name's sake? Peter, Paul, John, they all got thrown in jail, just like me. You know what I did while I was in jail? Preached Yahweh and Yeshua in that jail. And I did remain untouched. However, I was scared as can be. I walked through the valley of the shadow of death, but I feared all the evil.
So I'm curious, why are there 2 names? You're telling me Yahweh and Yeshua?
Yeshua, yeah. So the Father is Yahweh. He's the maker of heaven and earth. And then we needed someone who was going to make it so we don't have to sacrifice goats anymore and shed blood, and someone to get rid of the enmity between the Jew and the Gentile. So now we are grafted in and have full access through the blood of the true Messiah, who is not Jesus. That's the Antichrist that's going to deceive everyone till the very end. That's Revelation 13:18. And then if you read Revelation 14:1, the very next verse, it says exactly what the seal of Elohim is. It's the Father's name, which is this, Yahweh. Exodus chapter 13, verses 8 through 10 will tell you what the true seal of Elohim is as well. the memorial between your eyes and the sign on your hand is when you actually partake in the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Then if you read Ezekiel chapter 9, verses 3 through 5, it's the same thing. This is the verse that I know sealed me, because when my wife wouldn't touch me, when I had a true revelation and experience in my own basement in my house that I'm not allowed in anymore. Which, by the way, did you know that the Messiah had no place to lay his head either? That he stayed somewhere else every single day as well? Right. Do you know what age he was when he started his ministry? 30 years old. I'm 31. I'm a little late. I'm not the Messiah, but we're called to do exactly what he did and follow in the footsteps he did. John 14:15, if you love me, keep my commandments. Do we even know what the 10 commandments are to begin there? Most people don't. There's 10,000 promises in scripture. Most Christians can't name 10. Did you know that?
There's 10,000 what?
Promises in scripture, and most Christians can't name 10.
Can you name the 10 commandments?
Yeah.
And then what are some of the 10,000 promises?
Well, let's just start with the rainbow. Do you know what the rainbow represents?
What's that?
It's a covenant between him and us at the time of Noah that he would never flood the earth again. Do you know what the rainbow represents now? What it covers up now? It covers up two ugly things, gay and pride, two detestable things in the sight of him. They perverted our rainbow to protect something that he hates. How about that? You like apples? How about them apples?
Apples? Oh, how about them apples? What's another promise?
I know that.
Then in that day when we call on his name, we will be saved.
Okay.
The dead in him are going to arise first. That's a promise. And do you know what a prophet is? Someone who speaks the truth of something that's going to happen, and then it does. So if you're reading Revelation, you believe it to be true, and you preach it, you are a modern day prophet by definition.
Tell them that person is.
Okay. So that one doesn't really that one I don't really know very much. What about another promise?
Well, one of them I just told you would be that when we tell our kids the story of what happened during the time of Exodus, as we partake in the feast and we tell them exactly why we're doing it, that we are sealed from that day forward. Also, we're supposed to keep the Feast of Unleavened Bread. All the feasts are supposed to be appointed from year to year forever, period.
Oh.
And Easter is not one of those days. In fact, Easter is as pagan as it gets. Same thing with Christmas. And I bet you Chris Shemke, who doesn't even believe in God, celebrates Christmas.
So why do you think some people celebrate Christmas if they don't believe in God?
You know, I don't know why people who believe in God celebrate Christmas. Or 4th of July, to that point.
Why is that?
Because they're traditions of men, and scripture specifically says don't speak on them. Don't do them. Here's another thing. Do you know what the word pharmaceutical actually means in Latin?
What word?
Sorcery. Pharmaceutical.
Oh, pharmaceutical. Okay.
It means
Look this
up. It means sorcery. Yes. And so when we ingest these pills, which by the way is what killed Lauren, because she took her doctors prescribed her benzos, the fentanyl that she got mixed together, there was no bringing her back. None. No Narcan, no nothing could have saved her.
But if somebody uses fentanyl, even by itself, isn't that likely to
I'm not an expert on any of these chemicals. I'm just telling you one thing that I just learned based off of her death. I'm saying that any type of pharmaceutical is bad. It's bad news bears. All of it.
Okay.
And that's why I refuse, like when I'm going to get therapy or whatever, they're going to try to tell me I need to take a drug and I'm going to be in strict opposition to that anyway. So it's almost even pointless to go unless someone's just sitting there to hear me out like you are right now. This is therapy for me.
Do you feel any better or not really?
100%. Oh, I feel, yes. At the beginning of this, I felt depressed, scared, and now I feel empowered and alive.
Okay.
However, that doesn't change the trajectory of what I'm going to do.
Which is what?
I'm leaving the state. Figuratively and metaphorically. I mean, physically and metaphorically. I'm leaving this state of mind and I'm leaving it here in Michigan.
But you haven't figured out where you're going to go other than you're not going to Ohio?
Right. Correct. I might travel through Ohio for a little bit of time, but after I get out of Ohio, I mean, no, I'm not really. Ohio is pretty boring. I'd rather go to like Arizona, New Mexico. Texas is nice. I love the Riverwalk. I've never been to California, but that's pretty evil over there too. Hollywood is like the worst.
I can say I've never been to California.
Yeah, I'll probably go. No, I can't afford it because I only make Michigan money.
Well,
I got the longboard right here though. I was riding it last night. It was Lauren's. I kept it.
Is there a lot of space for you to ride it or just in the parking lot?
Well, and over this little hill and stuff. And yeah. Yeah,
Hill?
it's fun. The parking lot was nice by itself, but yeah, there's to go over freeways and stuff to get to a gas station. This isn't, when I was a juvenile, I cut off the tether and tried to run away to Florida. It was just a house tether, but we actually tried to run away to Florida. We got picked up in Bowling Green on some bicycles. The only thing that I really hate that I'm leaving behind is the fact that my wife is having a kid. Other than that, I got nothing here. Just that baby. That's all. And that sucks, like big time. But I mean, honestly, if this court date would have went completely different from the beginning, I would be staying here. I would be obliging to everything. As soon as you said jail, snapped my brain in half. Like, nope. Okay, I see where I'm being called now, and it's not jail. Jail is not meant for me. Mental institution is not meant for me. I'm totally fine. I handle life just fine. I'm not a violent individual. I know when to sit down and shut up. I know what I'm doing, but I'm getting treated like an animal, and I'm done with it. I'm done getting drunk. I'm not gonna ever use another drug. Simple as that. I'll pay you guys whatever you want. Just let me go. You'll never see me again. You'll never hear me again. Never see me again. Chris can keep the change. I'm good. I will seek professional help.
So if you want to seek professional help, why don't you want to do it right now? You said you have an
Because
appointment
I don't want
tomorrow.
under the supervision or under the thumb of somebody else. I don't want to be holding and having a tether on anymore. No, I'm not doing it anymore. I refuse. Respectfully, I just refuse. I feel I've done everything up until this point to the best of my ability. The reason why I missed the drug test, I have no clue. Honestly, I would wake up, I'd call every day. I could tell you the colors that were today. It was a green, aqua, and like amber or something like that. As long as it wasn't pink. By the way, Lauren's favorite color was pink, and that's my color. You believe that?
Well, that's something.
You know, I don't even need glasses. I was just trying to look smart. I was trying to blend in with you guys.
Well, I only take
I don't
my,
even need glasses. I have 20/20 vision. My eyes are just fine. These are blue light glasses. Someone told me they look good. So I was like, okay, I'll wear them.
well, that's good. My eyes are shot, so I don't have great vision.
I have impeccable vision. I could be a pilot.
Have you ever thought about being a pilot?
No, I'm afraid of heights.
So you've never flown anywhere?
Well, yeah, I've definitely flown, but like my palms are like sweating like crazy, and I usually take a couple shots.
Is that how you got out to Las Vegas, was by flying?
Yep, that was super fun. Got to see the canyons and all that stuff. Yep, freaking Vegas, man. I'll tell you what happens in Vegas did not stay because we carried that crap back home. I do miss my first wife, but I honestly miss Lauren much more.
How many times have you been married?
It's just Emily, the girl that showed up that first day, super pretty girl, pregnant. Like she was like, I picked a good one. I know I did. Like, I found her when she was 18. She was singing and playing guitar on stage at church, and I was like, they have angels here. And I pursued her, despite the fact that she should have never gotten with me. She did. And I was only 6 months out of jail when I first got with her. 6 months. And we were together for 7 years. We went to Disney 5 times in the past 3 years.
When did you go to Disney?
Which time? I mean, 5 times out of the past 3 years. I wrote Guardians of the Galaxy. I wrote all of it. Like, it was all super fun. I treated her special as you could treat anyone. And she still left me because I changed from Jesus to Yeshua. That's why she left. And she came to the courtroom and said, he's been drinking, smoking weed, and that's got to be why his brain is where he is. I was a youth leader at the church for the teenagers for 5 years. They trusted me around the kids to teach them out of the Bible. But Bible says those who teach are going to be weighed more heavily. And as soon as I found this new truth, I said, I need to be done with this.
Why is that? Why are they weighing more
Because I was
heavily?
teaching falsehoods out the wazoo that I believe to be true for the past 18 years of my life. 19 years, sorry, I'm 31 now. I'm a very mathematically minded individual, and I love words. Lauren, the one that just passed, had a 4.3 in GPA in college, and she was a literature major.
Where'd she go to college?
Columbus, where she was raped.
And so, when was the last time you went to Disney?
It had to be like October. No, October was Vegas. It was September. Yeah, we went to Disney, then we went to Vegas, we went to go up to Tawas. Like we would do it all because I run my own business. I take care of everything for Emily. I took care of everything for Lauren too. Like I said, I run about a $500,000 business. It equates to about $200,000 a year after taxes and everything, based on my profit margins of what I sell and what I do.
Okay,
My wives don't ever need to work, but yet they Lauren was good. Emily tried to fit me and conform me into a box and a mold of what she thought a husband should be, which is not the way that it works. It's the pecking order is God, husband, wife, then kids. Right now, she's putting the kids above me, which is why everything's come to such destruction. She gets it wrong. She doesn't, I told her that we're unequally yoked. You know what she thinks that means? Something to do with eggs.
oh, what does it mean?
So when you have one bull, it can pull 1,000 pounds. How many can two bulls pull? 3,000 pounds. What connects them? A wooden yoke. If you're unequally yoked, you're walking like this. If you're unequally yoked, it's not going to work.
Okay,
But she agreed to it in sickness and in health, which was a lie. You know what lying is? It's a sin. You know what sin is? Death. She brought death to our marriage. And it's all playing out right here. It's just, it's all good. I get it.
so where were you a youth leader at?
Northline Church in Taylor. Ryan Bettinger is the main pastor. He's one of my best friends for many years. He's got a much lower handicap than me too. I taught his kids. 3 of them. Lexi, Allie. I can't say the last one because he's a juvenile still. I was the favorite youth leader out of all of them.
How long's
I
it
was the
been?
favorite.
How long's it been since you stopped being a
March.
youth leader?
I stepped down in March.
23?
Might have been April actually. It was just this all happened just now. All of this. The past 5 months of my life, I've been told I should write a book about.
And what do you think about that?
I think that just speaks to how ridiculous everything that's been happening to me really is, due to the fact that I really haven't done much. I smoked marijuana, which was illegal at the time before I got this tether bond. I'm not even sentenced yet. Like we're at the point where I'm not even sentenced. It's just, and if it was Dickerson, I would have been like, throw away the key. I don't want probation. I want nothing. Just sentence me now. Put me in Dickerson. I'll get my hot Cheetos and ramen noodles and I'll be fine. This place, Wayne County? Oh, heck no. Heck no. Never again. And I got new side. If I would have got old side, I'd be dead right now. I will run for my life like a gazelle does from a cheetah. Did you know a gazelle cannot run a cheetah? Even though a cheetah is the fastest animal on earth. You want to know why?
Why?
Because they both have 2 different agendas. One's running because it's hungry and the other one's running for its life. And that's scripture. Again. I base everything I do and think off of the word. And when I don't, destruction comes about every time. That's why I get in trouble for the most minute of things. The tiniest little thing I do incriminates me.
What do you mean by that?
I got drunk in a city full of bars. Here we are 3 months later, still talking about it. Trying to lock me up again. At the beginning of all this, trying to lock me up again for getting drunk in a city full of bars because I was going through a divorce and I depended on alcohol, which I shouldn't have done. And I recognize that. I do recognize that actually getting drunk is a sin. I should not have gotten drunk. And I've paid for it dearly already. And it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And it's unfair, completely unfair. I didn't even drive. I wasn't even driving. And there's 2 sides to every story. Here's the thing. People were saying I was acting crazy. You think I just acted crazy for no reason? No, I was provoked. And I'm not going to get into that, but it was evil what was happening to me. And that's why I needed to get out of there. And I wanted my keys back, which I never got.
And the keys were to your home or your van?
My Saturn Sky, my 5-speed stick. Drop top. The one that I need to sell now that I can't enjoy anymore.
Why is that?
Because I'm leaving the state. I can't pack it up in the van. It's going to serve me no value any longer. I might as well keep it in the bank for child support purposes. Have you ever seen the movie Pig with Nicolas Cage? That's a new one. He just lives in the woods with the pig because his wife died, and the pig represented his wife, and that was it. And then someone stole his pig, and then he was alone. It's a good movie. I'm only telling you about it because I don't think you'll ever watch it, but it was good. Lauren showed me that one too. Pig.
What's that?
Pig.
That's the name of the movie?
Pig. Like swine, pig, yeah. Which, by the way, is not food. You should never eat pig. It's disgusting stuff. And you are what you eat, so inadvertently, quit eating pig. It's my biggest
So
suggestion.
I've never heard of the movie Pig.
Oh, it's so good. I think it's on Netflix. But you should watch Joker also. It'll help you to understand mental illness. Like, there's two sides to every story. Sometimes 3 or 4.
Well, I think that there's 3 sides to every story, at least.
Yeah, no one ever gets to listen to mine, and we did today. That's cool. I appreciate this amount of time that you've given me to talk.
Well, I'm glad that you've had that time to talk. So I know that today it's not a work day for you. What are your plans tomorrow after your appointment?
I have multiple calls, multiple people who want me at their establishments to address their HVAC issues.
Where are your clients usually at?
Everywhere in Michigan. I mean, have you ever Googled my business before?
No, I have not.
I have the best one downriver. I own the best company downriver based on Google. That's why I get called so much. I had a 5.0 rating before Lauren passed. After she passed, I got a bunch of weird things. People saying he kicked my dog, or don't let him near your children, or just all these false accusations of bull. And it still has a 4.9 rating. Like, it's really hard to tear down what I built, what God's helped me build. I could literally just sell my business based on the revenue, the track record of revenue, and the amount of regular clients I have. But that would be silly because I could just make residual income. Not residual, I still would have to dispatch. So I technically still got to work a little bit, but I like being involved in the business that I put together. My initials are AC.
You're correct.
Yeah, that's kind of meant for air conditioning, repairman and replacing.
Yes, I picked that up for air conditioning.
Everything happens for a reason. Sometimes it's hard to see it in the moment. No tether, no jail for me, and I'll do anything for that not to happen. And I'm just being honest with you. I'm not going to say to your face, I'm not going to tickle your ear with some type of lie and say, oh yeah, I'm going to go there and be there and da da da. No, I'm not. I'm not.
What do you mean?
I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you I'm going to go somewhere and do something that I'm not going to do, like go to a hospital or anything like that. In fact, I'm probably not going to go to that therapy appointment any longer because I already told you where it was at and what time.
No, you didn't tell me what time, and you just indicated Team Wellness.
If you replay the recording, you'll find it.
I believe there's multiple locations.
I got 3 scheduled it. I already know what it feels like to look over my shoulder everywhere I go. And that's going to be exponentially increased if I stay here in Michigan. So, and I know your capability and tendencies, and that's not a stab at you. It's just, it's lock people up for petty things. So I'm just calling a spade a spade. It's no disrespect. I mean, it is what it is. You're just doing a job. But I've been told Judge DeSanto in Wyandotte is the worst place, the worst judge you want to stand in front of. And I can attest to, yeah, that's facts. That is big facts. I've never dealt with, I've been in and out of the system for years before 7 years ago, for years. And I've never had it this bad. Nowhere near, not even close, bar none. You like that one? Bar none, Chris. No bar exam for me. That's a pun. Puns are fun. So for the 15th, you might as well put no show.
So you're telling me you're not going to show up at all?
I'm telling you, I'm leaving within the next day or two. I'm gonna be out of here. Probably 1,000 miles distance from this current location. Yeah. I don't have a passport either. I will be in America. I've never been to New York.
No?
That sounds cool. My friend Dylan, he started an ice cream shop, and he's like TikTok famous. It's called Catching the Cream or whatever that is. He's got like 11 million followers on TikTok. He's from here, and I always said, "Oh, I want to go see your shop, dude." So he was supposed to make our wedding cake, my first wife, but he was too big and busy.
He didn't make it?
No, because he already had like 350,000 followers at that point. It was too big for us.
350 what?
1,000 followers on TikTok. Now he's at 11 million or something. Yeah. Gary V helped him start his business. It's pretty cool story.
And where's he located?
Somewhere in New York. I don't know. Somewhere in Times Square or whatever. I don't know. But here's one thing I will say. As a result of me being on the run, so to say, you best believe my nose is going to be clean everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. Yeah. And I have no business getting any other girls pregnant with my current state with law. So, 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 1 says it's better for a man not to touch a woman. And I clearly see why.
And why is that?
If it weren't for Emily, if it weren't for any of the girls that I got with, because I can't handle my own lustful desires. If I would have never gotten with a girl, I would have never dealt with a divorce. Would have never led me to depression. I would have never gotten with Lauren. There wouldn't be all this destruction in my past as a result of me thinking I needed a woman. I'm much better off just clinging to God and controlling my lustful temptations. I know it sounds good on paper, but I've been practicing it. I have nothing but pure intentions from this day forward, but I'm not doing this anymore. I can't.
And what is this?
Anything to do with this judicial system and why not? Any recommendation, unless it's, hey, you're good. Hopefully we never see you again. Shake hands, peace out. You have a fine of $1,500 to go. Come please pay that. And I'd be up there and I'd go pay it. And I'd get the heck out of there. I'd tell the probation officer, sorry for being rude a couple times. I'm sorry for everything. I'd say, Chris, that was fun. I'll give you a reference for the next time you need that air conditioner fixed in the future. If you ever need it, not that I've ever touched it before, I'm just saying if you ever needed it. I'm not kidding. Either way, even if I got off or I don't get off, I'm leaving the state. Period, point blank, I'm gone. I have a calling somewhere else that's very important. And if things don't pan out, maybe it's possible I might just be like, you know what? I'll just come turn myself back in and call it a day. That didn't really work out. I was wrong. I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. A wise man accepts correction. I've received enough correction from you guys. Enough, more than enough.
What correction is that?
You guys sent me to jail. Dude, I'm sorry, man. Have you ever stepped foot in that jail? Just to observe where you're sending people?
The Wayne County Jail?
Yeah, have you ever observed where you're sending people? Just went in there and saw the mold on the ground, or the cockroaches crawling around, or the violence that takes place, the blood on the walls, the toilets full of poop that you can't even use, the kind of food that they give you, the way that they give it to you, they throw it on the floor. Have you ever observed where you're sending people? It's hell on earth.
I have not seen that.
Chris has seen it. That's why he was trying to go to bat for me a little bit to say, hey, please don't, but it wasn't really going to bat. It was more like a T-ball from a 4-year-old. Last time, the only reason why I got my tether off is because I mentioned it at the last moment, and then he came on my behalf and spoke up. But had I not said anything, he was just going to be passive and let it go. And then give me some bullcrap line of reasoning why, well, she would have done this or she would have done that. I don't believe that. I don't believe it at all. I believe that this is a monopoly system that's I'm in the loop of, that I need to get out of.
What do you mean by that, monopoly system?
A monopoly system. You guys sold me alcohol, then locked me up for it,
Who's you guys? The court didn't sell you any alcohol, did we?
Wyandotte.
Oh,
It's a big monopoly. Oh, and then if you need your car towed, who tows it? The two officers that were sending me away, the broke kids, their dad. It's a whole monopoly. It's a whole system. I see it. I'm not dumb. The whole thing is just designed for failure of anyone who doesn't actually live in Wyandotte or know the police.
did you eat breakfast today?
And nobody cares. Nobody cares. No one cares. We just
No
say,
one cares about what?
well, the rules. You're eating in the courtroom because you're above the law.
I'm not above the law.
Aren't we not supposed to eat in the courtroom?
You're correct. I'm
Fine.
having a little bit of a snack because I did not eat breakfast this morning.
Well,
Did you
we
eat
can
breakfast
justify
this morning?
anything. We can justify anything. And that's the most dangerous thing that we have is justification, because I can justify anything that I do.
Did you eat breakfast this morning?
No, I don't eat breakfast. I go out and earn something before I eat. Back in the day, you couldn't eat until you went out and killed a lion and brought it home to the family. I have to go out and kill a lion before I deserve to eat a thing.
And how are you going to do that?
Well, it's a figurative statement. I have to go out
I
and
understand
provide.
that.
Today's a spiritual day. I provided for myself yesterday. That's called preparation.
So are you going to eat lunch?
More than likely. I don't know the future to that extent. Maybe I'll fast for the rest of the day and be in prayer because I believe in fasting and prayer. In fact, I'm a vegetarian. It's a lifelong fast. I just started right before Lauren passed. I love vegetables, which is ironic that she was in a vegetative state for her last couple of days. Now that's funny. I don't mind if you eat. I just, it is what it is. Whenever we point the finger at someone, we got 3 pointing back at ourselves. Amen.
I've heard that statement before.
Just saying.
And so you said that you haven't spoken to your dad much?
Not anymore. He has me blocked because I call him out on his bull crap too. And he doesn't like it because when we're shed the light, we want to cling to our darkness. Again, Galatians 4:16. Now that I've told you the truth, have I become your enemy? Look at that. Someone just texted me, hey, can you loan me 40 until Friday? I just gave another friend $1,000 the other day. He said, hey, can I get $1,000 so I can get a trailer for my business? All big, I forget what the business is called. Yes, going on by, man. Bam, $1,000 right out of my pocket. Cash. That's what I do. And I said, don't worry about paying me back because if you don't pay me back, we're still gonna be friends. Money doesn't get between friends. Freaking cockroach. You ever seen one of these? It's a bug assault. Fill it up with salt. Oh shit, the safety's on. Boom, no more cockroach. That thing was nasty. They're way worse in county, let me tell you. And I can't bring that in there with me.
Well, aren't you, so the room that you're in isn't very clean?
I thought it was pretty nice. This is actually the most therapeutic past 4 days that I've had was being in this hotel room. Everywhere else I've stayed, I've had problems with every single person I ran into. I only stay one place a night. Every single time there's something that just happens that I rub against the grain the wrong way. And it's just, the signs are telling me, oh, all right, time to go. Time to go, time to go, time to go. But there is one place that I need to go. And I expect big things to happen. Prophetically, I do believe the sky is going to be rolled back, peeled back. Like it's called the Heavenly Scrolls, the constellations. That's our actual Bible. And he's going to descend on us. The word rapture does not exist in scripture. It's not a real word. We're going to see the dead in him rise first. Lauren will be one of them. Rise up. And then we're going to have a tough time here on earth. A very tough time here on earth. The true followers, the true believers. And I need to be around those like-minded believers. The only thing that I feel terrible about is to go meet up with this like-minded group of believers and conceal from them the fact that I'm on the run. I'm going to be bearing that weight, and I'm probably just going to have to be honest with them because the truth sets you free. For instance, you were going to lock me up, then I told you the truth. Now you're saying I'm not going to lock you up. The truth set me free in a very small way at first. I mean, we're off to a decent start, but all I did was tell you the truth.
And that truth being what?
My intentions. At first I said, oh, I had suicidal thoughts. You're like, whoa, pump the brakes. If I wouldn't have spoke up and told you the truth, I'd be going to jail right now. And that's a promise of
Was that
scripture.
the truth?
You asked for another one?
Was that
You
the
asked for
truth?
another promise of scripture? The truth sets you free. Which, by the way, he is the truth, the way, the truth, and the life.
And so is what you said earlier the truth?
There is one part that I will take back. I was there when Lauren did the cocaine. That is the one thing that I will come clean about right now. And her head fell into my lap, and her lips went blue. And the other day, a song turned on and said, "Baby Blue Ain't Your Color." You know that song? Yeah, that had me break down. And because I was a youth leader in the church and CPR certified, not that serious, just 4-hour course or whatever. And I administered CPR on her, and it didn't work.
Anthony, if I were you, I would stop talking about the details because everything you're saying can and will be used against you. So this is not what this proceeding is about. So just my advice to you is I would not go into detail about this.
Thank you.
And so everything else you said earlier today was the truth?
Everything else was the truth. But I witnessed death. However, I spoke with Wayne County, and there's no one's being charged with anything like that. I get what Chris is saying, that I shouldn't be around an environment like that. And that's probably part of my bond conditions. However, I didn't know what she was doing. I didn't know that she had that stuff. I walked in on that. Now I wear her ring on my chain. It fell off during CPR from the EMS.
And what kind of ring is that?
It's opal. I got it over from Goldfish Studios. It was a birthstone.
When did you get it? When did you get it?
The day after she said yes, I actually proposed to her with shoes. That's my love language. Shoes.
Shoes?
I proposed to her with a pair of
Okay.
Yeezys. Yeah, shoes.
Yeezy?
Yeezys. Yeah. I had a lot of Yeezys. I had about 12 pairs of Yeezys, and I give them away. And I usually give them away to someone I'm going to witness to because it breaks down walls, because most people can't afford Yeezys. I had way too much stuff, and I got rid of it. I started to remove all the puffery in my life. I got rid of my Pokemon stuff. I had like $5,000 Pokemon collection, just gave it away to kids. I gave away all my shoes. And the reason why I did shoes, the reason why I used shoes is because there's a scripture that says, "How beautiful are the feet of those who bring the good news." Anyone that wore a size 11, I'd say, "What size shoe are you? 11? Ooh, you like Yeezys? Boom." But her specifically, I proposed to with Yeezys just because it's part of my love language. And I don't believe in the traditions of men. Why did I have to propose with a ring? I didn't have to. I proposed with shoes. And the two became one flesh. And that is what marriage is technically, not the piece of paper that follows. That's just for legality.
I will say shoes is interesting. I've never thought of it like that. Everybody has their
I
own.
never heard of. The whole point is she said yes. And for that, I'm forever grateful. She is who I should have been with from the beginning.
You still talk to her brother, who I think you said is your friend?
He stopped talking to us the day we got together. He didn't get to speak to her one time in the last few months of her life because he rejected her and our relationship. So now he bears that guilt. He'll never talk to me again. And he was my best friend. We were the best
How long
friends
have you
at
guys
each other's weddings. We've been friends.
long
We used to
have
work
you
at the Mancinos over there. And we used to work at the Mancinos together over there in Wyandotte back when I started heating and cooling school. And he was the manager. And we worked under Mike. I don't know if you know, Mike was the owner. And we used to hang out and drink alcohol and have fun and smoke weed. And it was about 10 years ago. However long I've been doing heating and cooling, 11 years. Yeah, something like that. I used to take the bus over there in Wyandotte down 4th Street, take it all the way to Melvinville, and then my friend would drive me from Melvinville to Dorsey over in Wayne, which is actually around the block from where Lauren's house was. So it all came full circle. Every day I went to Lawrence, I saw Dorsey, I saw the school I went to for HVAC, which was hilarious to me.
Well, how long ago was that?
Then I went to heating and cooling school.
Yes.
That was the same time frame. I started working at Mancino's when I started heating and cooling school. I quit Wendy's and went to Mancino's in the middle of HVAC school 11 years ago. We used to go across the street to Johnny Mac's and then buy alcohol, come back, and I'd work. I wasn't driving. I'd be making pizza. And I was reminded of it last night because I had a Lunchable, all cheese. cheese pizza, Lunchable. It reminded me of Mancino's.
How long did you work at Mancino's?
Probably about not even a year. Yeah, not even a year, because HVAC school was only 9 months long. So as soon as I finished that, I went and got a job at Atar Enterprises over there on 4th Street. Another heating and cooling company. For $9 an hour. Less than I was making at Mancino's. Which is also hilarious. But you gotta start somewhere.
Well, you do have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
You do have to start somewhere. So you don't want to get treatment anymore either?
Not with the tether.
So can I, do you mind if I step off for just one moment so I can double check how that would work?
Absolutely.
Okay, I want to step off for just 1 second, okay?
No problem.
Okay, so Anthony, I know you want me to not send you to jail and not tether you. So I was trying to find out how I could do that and make sure that you're coming back on Monday.
Oh, well, as long, you know what? Zoom is good. I will be here for a Zoom meeting. I enjoyed this conversation. Can I tell you one thing before you want to know how everywhere I go, there's always a sign that I'm in the right place. And you know what I just noticed for the first time during this conversation? I've been going back to Hebrew roots on everything. And I called Lauren Elishiva. You know why? Because her middle name was Elizabeth. And we were both baptized at Elizabeth Park. I'm going to leave it at that. But I just appreciate that your name's Elizabeth in this moment, regardless of what else you're going to say.
Okay. When were you baptized at Elizabeth Park?
About 3 weeks before she was, and she was just baptized. Oh my God, it was beautiful. My dad did it. I recorded it, and it's on my Instagram. And she even claimed the last name Carmona in that video. He said, I hereby baptize Elizabeth Lauren. What's your last name? She says Carmona. It wasn't long ago. I got baptized in the proper spirit. And in the same way that I've been witnessing, yeah, my dad, in the same way that I've been witnessing to you guys, is how I did it in jail. And everywhere I go, all I do is live by the word of my testimony. So even in this moment, I thought that this was gonna be super crappy, just a Zoom meeting, court date, but you guys have given me a platform to actually speak truths from the Bible. And you never know who you're gonna get to talk to about what you need to talk about. I'm even thankful for this moment, even though it doesn't seem like it.
Well, I'm glad that you feel better that you've been able to talk about.
Express myself.
Yes. But so how do we resolve the issue at hand? What's your suggestion?
Well, here's my suggestion. I'll talk to you again on the 15th, and I'll tell you about all the therapy and AA and whatever else I've done. And then you can make your determination on whether or not I've gotten time served. And I'll pay whatever costs and fines that day of. There will be no payment plan. I will pay everything that day. And you'll never hear me again unless it's something awesome. Or you need HVAC work, because I'm fantastic at what I do. I was upset that they told me. Sorry.
I'm sorry? Oh, go ahead.
I was upset that the therapist told me that I'm only allowed to get 1 hour. I was upset about that. I was like, I need at least 3 for my first session. I guarantee it. Not in a group. I need a one-on-one, and I'm hoping my therapist is someone very special.
So
And I
what
want
does
to
that mean?
apologize just to Chris for anything that I might have said that's. What do you mean?
Go ahead, you can continue.
Well, first, I want to apologize to you and to Chris for anything that I may have said that was hurtful or insinuating. I am sorry. Because I'm not, they say hurt people in AA, and I definitely am guilty of that, but I've been working on kindness. Being smart's a blessing and a curse, because I tend to just twist what people say. I'm really good at that. And I hate that I am. It's actually disgusting.
Why is that? Why is it disgusting?
Well, because my ego causes me to think I'm better than others and to mess with people for no reason. And now that I'm beginning to understand firsthand mental illness, I realize that I'm just so wrong in so many levels, and I have been for a long time. But I'm getting better, and I'm going to continue to get better. The jail's not going to build my character. Treatment may help. That's what I need. I need to talk. I need to write things down. I need to listen to other people. I need to accept correction. Because a wise man accepts correction. And a wise man also understands that what he does and what happens to him are connected. The fool believes they're disconnected. That's another scripture. That's in Proverbs. I'm not sure what reference it is.
So is there
But yeah, that would be
anything-
my
Oh, go ahead.
sorry. That would be my
Go ahead.
hope, is that the next court date, you're like, you know what? I see your point. You're all good. You messed up. You got a lot going on. Sometimes it's hard to make phone calls. See, I don't work a 9-to-5 job, so it's hard for me to make sure I'm gonna make it to a specific. The one, okay, I can remember the one that I did miss on the 13th was because I was at a job in St. Clair Shores, and there was no way for me to make it. So I had to. The person out there was being very upset with me, and they said, if you don't finish the job today, I'm suing you. So now I was caught between a rock and a hard place: make it to my drug test or get sued. Oh, I got an expensive lawyer, not super expensive, but I paid more than I ever had for a lawyer, and I was like, I'll be fine. No, I should have said screw that job. But then again, I could have got sued for that, but that would have been a civil matter. And it's just this whole complex I went through in my brain. I said, I might as well finish the job while I'm here, so I can get paid and not get sued.
And did you finish that job?
Oh yeah, I got paid big bucks. Oh yeah, a lot of money. A lot of money. I took a picture of it and put it on my Instagram story. Again, ego. I'm wrong for that. I'm wrong for that. Customers typically pay me cash. And I report it, but it's just really nice because I always have cash. Except ironically, the last time I went to jail, I didn't have my wallet, so I had no commissary. No way to get commissary or anything. My dad, I don't know if you remember Mr. Carmona, you're driving around the parking lot, and he said he didn't have pants, but he had shorts on, and it's like really funny. He had to go to my house and I told him, yeah, I had to, yeah, you have an impeccable memory. He said, or I told him where my cash was. When he found it and we were on the phone, he was like, oh my gosh. I look like a drug dealer or something. How much cash that I leave in a spot and my wife, she had full access to it. Emily, like, I think she's a fool for leaving me just because I got drunk one night and claimed a different faith, but I've supplied her out the wazoo.
When you were in Vegas?
Yeah, the one that I went to Vegas with, that one, yeah. Lauren got it. Lauren was like, oh no, this guy, I don't even need to work. Like, she sat on the couch all day and played with her dog because that's what she needed, because her mental health was not there. She saw therapists often. She actually diagnosed me before my therapist did.
And what did she diagnose you with?
Bipolar, major depressive, and the worst case of OCD she's ever seen in her life. And she understands all of it because she's been in and out of all of it. Like, she actually gets it. She doesn't need college to understand mental illness. She knows it. And that's why I'm suggesting to you that movie Joker. It's a very good movie. A very good movie. I'd say probably my favorite movie outside of anything like spiritual. I'm probably gonna watch it after this.
Well, I wrote it down so I don't forget the name of it.
Amazing. Just even if you just watch the ends, just watch the last half hour of it. It's so good. So good. Even whether you like Batman or not, it's so good.
Can you understand the movie with only watching the last half an hour?
No, you should watch the whole thing for context. Like, honest, and you're a smart lady. Like, and I'm not saying that to puff you up or nothing. Like, when you watch this, like, you're probably gonna cry. Not for me or Lauren or anything, like, just in general. And he doesn't die in the end. Like, it ends up happy. It ends up happy. Oh, Chris probably hasn't seen it either. It's a good one, Chris. Nightcrawler, that's another good one. But anyway.
I've seen it, Anthony.
Joker?
So good. So good. So good. So good.
So what are your plans? I mean, how long are you planning on staying at the motel or the hotel that you're at?
I know, right? Cockroaches implies that it could have been a motel, but well, I mean, if everything's going to move smooth, cordial, and I'm going to avoid jail and tether, I'll do whatever you want. Honestly, I'll stay here. I'll do whatever you want. But I do have a trip that it's a 10-day camping trip that I need to go to. It's not some
Right, to
crazy.
Missouri.
Yeah, there's no, like, we're not doing drugs and all that or nothing. I can even send you videos about what it's about. It's a spiritual gathering that I crave, that I'm called to go to. And I'll be back from there. Like, the whole trajectory of my life could change. I won't be on the run. If I want to be here for my kid, I want to run my business. I want to function properly in society. But the moment I heard jail, I recoiled from it like a hot flame. I'm like, no, go away, gone, goodbye. That's actually an AA reference. We recoil from alcohol like our hand to a stove. Bill W. wrote that.
Who wrote that?
Bill W. Wilson, Bill Wilson, the founder of AA.
Oh,
It's in the big book. I don't trust the big book. I trust my Bible. Oh, sorry. And then this one. This is the one that I studied for the translation, misinterpretations and transliterations based on our division through language. I've done some very deep study in scripture, and yeah, I know where I'm supposed to go. I won't run. I won't run if and I want to see therapists. I want to talk to people. I want good. I want truth. I want life. But I won't lie to you. Sometimes life becomes so overwhelming and overbearing. And
I agree
traumatic.
with you. It sure does. It sure does.
Jail was horrible this last time. Horrible. Horrible. I was scared I wasn't going to make it out. For a good reason. The intimidation I received was very convincing. And they thought it was funny. I was specifically told to my face, I hate fucking white people. And that the dude had HIV and he was going to bite me in the jugular. First moment he got. And I said, well, there goes my life if that happens. For one specific purpose, so he can get out of quarantine and go to Bam Bam, so that way he can get out. Just like I would have just been like a tool to be used just for him to get out of the room that he was in because he was uncomfortable for a moment. It was the worst. The worst. I have no ill intentions for anybody, not even myself. But fear is.
You said you did earlier. That's why I was concerned.
I wanted to catch your attention, and it was truthful. However, do I think I could actually put a gun in my mouth and pull the trigger with my tail? Well, who knows? Who knows what anyone's capable of these days? When people are desperate, they'll do anything. If I go to jail, I consider myself already dead. I just don't want to suffer during the process. So yes, I would rather die than go to jail. That is very much. Now, any other jail, fine. Dickerson, I'm like, oh, this is fun. I'm gonna work out. I'll do a bunch of chin-ups. I don't need cigarettes. I don't need nicotine. This would be like a cleanse. This ain't Dickerson anymore. Dickerson was fine. Totally fine. Wayne County, no. They need to level that thing, build a soccer field, split between misdemeanors and felonies, put you with not like-minded, like violated, like offended individuals, not killers with public intoxicants. That was horrible. Horrible. I would not wish it on my worst enemy. I know a rapist right now who's walking around free, and I don't have the heart to send him there. How about that? I was like, he'll get it so bad here. It's just not even fair. By the way,
So
I've
why
been
do you
trying.
think that?
I'll go. Why do I think
By
that?
the way, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
Why do I think that he might? What? I value your question. So go ahead.
Why do you think that there's such a difference between Dickerson and Wayne County Jail?
I don't think I know, man. I can tell you in Wayne in Dickerson, everyone that you go there with, not a single. I don't remember a single person in there with a felony. And when they're in there, they're waiting to get out. They're just trying to play spades. Which, by the way, I'm really good at spades. I'm better at spades than I am at euchre. That's where I connected with a lot of individuals in there, and actually in Dickerson, good people. And I connected with bad people. At 17 years old, I wasn't even scared to be in Dickerson. It was totally fine. We watched movies. We got commissary. We got, I got released early by a couple days. Like, it was totally fine. It was like being grounded a little bit worse than being grounded. I can do that. It gave me time to sit alone with my Bible. In Wayne County, I'm telling you, you are alongside criminals that are telling you how to, that will tell you how you can get away with murder, literally. It's horrible. Not only that, there's black mold all over the place, cockroaches. It smells disgusting. And you're scared for your life. You have a sign right there that says, if you rape someone, these will be the charges. If? Are you kidding me? I crawled on the ground to get under a couple individuals. There's this old black guy that was heavy set, and he's sitting there sleeping on the bench. I said, I'm going to crawl under him because I don't think he's going to get up for a long time. And I sat under him in the fetal position, and I heard people talking about me the whole time behind me, saying things like, I'm about to grab him and snatch him out from under there and just yank him out here and just start beating. I'm telling you, this is the truth. Because I got drunk one night and missed a couple drug tests that I'm clean for anyway. I'm probably clean from marijuana today.
Well, that would be good.
It'd be good if it was out of my hair. I wish I was over 7 years. It is not.
What was that about something?
Well, after 7 years, it's no longer in your hair.
Oh,
I wish I never touched it again. Every time that I touched marijuana, bad things happened. And nothing to do specifically with marijuana, but that's what I was telling you about. When a man does, a wise man truly believes that what he does and what happens to him are connected, even if it doesn't, even if it's not necessarily like hitting a domino when it hits the next one. It is, but it's spiritual. Bad things happen to me when I do something wrong.
what kind of bad things?
Well, no way. Really? Oh my God.
What's that?
I knew this was gonna happen, man. You guys are really locking me up.
What?
What are you guys doing?
I think you're okay.
I'm fine.
You said some questionable stuff on someone recently.
Guys, please, no, I'm good. Nothing's gonna happen. I'm still on the things to judge.
Yeah, we know that. What's going on with you and?
I'm just scared to go to jail. No, not to any degree.
What's your thought?
Okay.
You're not.
Judge DeSantos, they're on the cops are here. No,
Oh,
absolutely
Okay.
not. No.
well, so then at least, so we know that you're safe right now then.
Anyone in here? I'm scared to go to jail. I don't want anyone to
We're
come
not
here.
taking you to jail. We can't even take you to jail for what happens on there.
Okay.
We can't.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. We're fine. I promise. I promise. Going through a divorce. My wife, okay. I just said I'm depressed beyond belief.
So even if you were sentenced to jail, we're not going to go still.
No, absolutely not. No way.
That's.
No.
That was.
I promise. I promise that will not happen. I promise. I promise.
Camping trip soon, so you don't want to ruin it, right?
Correct. They're taking a report, Mr. Santos.
I'm not. I'm just
I
grabbing
just
your
want her to know that I'm not ignoring her. Yes.
What's your name?
Carmel, Joseph. Come on, man. Why are you guys? Come on, man. What are you guys doing? Please don't.
You're good, man. If we were to take you, we already took you, right?
Yeah.
Hey, we're not taking you.
It's scary, man.
You're
I
good.
can't do
Nothing
this.
to scare them. We're not
Please. My name's Anthony.
CARMONA.
Yes, and I'm fine. Okay. I'm just gonna close the door now. Okay.
No, keep it open.
Okay.
What's your name?
61092. You guys are taking me out. Come on, man. All right.
Sit by here.
I've got guns.
It's empty. There's a gun. No shells.
All right, so Mr. Shenke, I think at this point,
There's a hatchet on.
Deputy,
You're able to have what you're allowed to, nothing wrong with that. okay?
Deputy,
Yes, ma'am.
okay, so we weren't really sure where Mr. Carmona was located. And so he had indicated that he was going to harm himself and that he had a shotgun in the room.
Yeah, he
we're looking for weapons right now, about that 20 gauge and stuff.
Can you be honest? Why you guys locking me up?
Yeah. Actually, you're a slingshot. Do you still need us on here, ma'am?
I'm sorry?
Do you still need him to be on live still? Would you like me to keep this on?
No, that's okay. Are you taking him into custody?
We don't know yet. He hasn't really told us anything. We're still talking to him.
Okay, as of now, he's ordered to report for to jail in Wayne County, but you can stay in communication with Sergeant Cons if you'd like, and we can update, and if you can keep us updated, we can update you as well.
Okay, I have the sergeant's number, so I'm going to give him a call here in about 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, we're going off the record.
Okay, thank you.
Judge.
I know, man.